for sure. So, um,
It's
I don't
nice
know.
to see some new faces in here.
Yeah, excellent. I love it. Oh yeah, yeah, good deal. I'll be telling my backstory, and you guys will be very excited. I don't know, Claire, how much you even know my backstory of Etsy. I will tell a lot of my Etsy backstory because you guys will all love it, and just because I don't talk about it a ton because like on some of these Pinterest calls because non-Etsy people don't care, right? But you guys
Yeah.
will. So that'll be very exciting because Etsy is a huge was a, is still a huge part of my life. Has been for a very long time. And yeah, so it's I love it. I love it, love it. So we'll get into that, all that good stuff.
Hi, Jackie. She's on another screen.
Oh,
I'm
Antonio is
trying to.
here. Good. Antonio, is he awake for this? Every time I have a call, he's asleep. Mm. We got Todd. I see Todd. Excellent, you guys. I see some of you guys are just joining. Welcome. I am going to link our live chat. He's on his phone. He can't chat. There we go. I'll link that live chat one more time because sometimes that goes away for people as they come. But if you guys want to, we have a live chat going over in Claire's group just so we can keep track of it because these chats over here on the video go away and we can have those. But before we get started, I know Claire wants to get started here, but let me know where you guys are from real quick. I know we have a couple other extra people jumping on, like Jackie. Where are you from? Todd. I'm from Ohio. We have some people from the UK and London. Antonio. Oh yeah, that's right. Antonio is in Spain. I think I knew that. Anyway, we'll have to talk. Antonio. We'll have to talk about that because I was in Spain. All right. So Claire, I'm going to give it back to you. Why don't you go ahead and introduce, and we'll get this party started.
Okay, so welcome everybody. I have you're welcome to join in whenever you want to. Tim's going to do some questions at the end, and like I said in a previous posting today, I have got a master plan for us tomorrow and over the weekend. So hopefully take some notes and let's get into it.
Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you guys for having me, Claire. Thank you for we're finally getting on this call. And I'm excited to do this because as you guys heard me maybe talking at the beginning, I have been selling on Etsy for a very long time. Very long time. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen just because I want to get it up there so I don't forget. And Claire, if any time like you see this go away, like I don't want it to go away. So if it goes away, just be like, Tim, because I'll start talking and I won't pay attention. So anyhow, my name is Tim Adam. I've been selling on Etsy since 2007. All right, this is a very long time. Started selling on Etsy. I started my handmade journey in 2005. My sister-in-law needed some furniture built. Um, I kind of knew how to build stuff, and she put me through I took a welding class, so it was all metal. So metal art, metal furniture, industrial kind of modern stuff. Started selling that on Etsy in 2007. Made my first sale. I remember my first sale, you guys. I mean, how can you forget your first online sale? It was a really cool modern candle holder that I sold to somebody in North Carolina. It was like a $20 candle holder. I don't even know. So it was so awesome just to think back on that and remember that. And about a year after that, a year selling on Etsy, I was able to quit my jobs, and I was able to replace that income from selling all my metal art and furniture, and then I got into selling jewelry and things like that, like things really cool modern stuff. And I was able to quit my job. And in the meantime, I jumped on quickly to social media and learned how to market my Etsy shop with social media. And using at the time it was oh my goodness, what was it? Facebook, Twitter, some weird stuff. No. It just wasn't very much back then. You know, obviously then we had Instagram and then Pinterest came around in 2010. And something else happened in 2010. I'm going to show you guys. I don't share this very often, but you guys have to see this. So back in 2010, I wrote a book called How to Make Money Using Etsy. All right, this is literally 27,000 pages of, or not 27,000 pages, 27,000 words of how to sell on Etsy. I literally talked about Facebook. I talked about all this different stuff, but this is super cool. If you guys want to see something, you want to see young Tim, there I am right there. It's pretty funny. But there's proof right there that I kind of know what I'm talking about a little bit. It's pretty fun to talk about and see that. But I wrote that in 2010, and it went along with a blog that I wrote. If some of you guys might know me, if you're listening, or maybe you don't, you can look it up. It's Handmadeology was the blog, the science of handmade. And as I was doing all this, like Pinterest came around. In 2010, they launched. I saw it, coming through. I was, in the space of like marketing, and I'm like, huh, this Pinterest is really cool. And this is great for Etsy sellers. It's got to be because it's visual, and Etsy is so visual. And so I got on the wait list, and I remember I got access to like when they first launched, and the very first day I was able to like get on there. And like, I remember that day I wrote a blog post on how to use Pinterest for your Etsy shop. So I literally have been teaching people, Etsy sellers and beyond, how to use Pinterest for 16 years. I don't even know where this time has gone. It's craziness to me, right? So I absolutely love Pinterest, and you're gonna find out why, and you're gonna find out why this is going. If you're not using Pinterest right now for to market your Etsy shop, we're gonna be talking about that specifically today. You can see my little paragraph there. I'm not going to read it, but you guys can read it. You've been staring at it. But that's what's happening today. We're talking about SEO. We're talking about some tools that you can use. We're talking about how to create the perfect pin so you can start getting traffic to your Etsy shop, um, evergreen traffic to your Etsy shop. And today, if you guys, when you stick around the entire time, I know this could be recorded as well, but like at the very end of my talk, we're going to be doing question and answer. So it could be about anything Etsy related, Pinterest related, whatever. But I'm also going to show you guys a pin that I pinned about 2 years ago. This trending has like over 10 million views, and it's really cool to see what I'm doing with that, how I'm using that pin, and how we can kind of maybe do that for ourselves as well. So it's pretty fun. So stick around, you're going to see that. But let's get into this thing, and let's talk about why everyone should be on Pinterest. Okay. And I'm going to tell you some stuff you might already know, but whatever. So Pinterest it's a discovery platform. It's visual, right? So we're going on there and we're looking and we're seeing cool stuff, right? But you got to remember, it is not actually a social media site. Yes, you can like and share and comment and things like that, but it is a search engine. Okay. So I'm going up to the top and I'm searching. I'm going to use gardening as an example, and you'll see why in a minute. But if I'm talking about gardening, I'm going to say how to plant, purple flowers in my backyard garden. I'm going to literally type that in, and I'm going to find the answers to what I'm looking for. It's unlike Instagram and unlike TikTok and even Facebook. It's really hard to search on these places, but Pinterest is a search engine first. Okay, that's what it is. Big old search engine. But there's 578 million active monthly users. Now, this is 2025 numbers, but as we're getting into 2026, I'm excited to see what that is. I bet it's going to hit 600 million. It's probably going to even be more than that. But there's a lot of people on there. Okay, so you got to remember that when we're on Pinterest, there's a high conversion potential. That means people are there they're ready to act. They're ready to purchase, they're ready to create, and they're ready to learn, and they're ready to buy stuff. They're searching it. They're literally searching in the search bar. You can't just doom scroll on Pinterest, and you can a little bit, but you're not finding stuff that you're not looking for. And that's the big difference. But people are ready to act. Okay. So who should be on Pinterest? I have a little list here, but this list should just be an infinite list of everything. But like obviously DIY, fashion, fitness, food, home decor, making money, any niche that you're in. And obviously, if you're on Etsy, you have to be on Pinterest. You have to be. It just makes sense, so much sense. And for anyone, we're offering visually compelling solutions. And it's just the way it is. Like you're scrolling on Pinterest and it looks good and it's fun. And it's just it's such a great platform for any of us who sell on Etsy. And let's get into some more numbers here because if I haven't convinced you yet, this hopefully the rest of these numbers will. But there's 1.5 billion pins uploaded every single week. Half of those are probably mine. Just kidding. They're not all mine, but you get that. There's so much activity happening on Pinterest every single week. It's crazy. And you should need to be on that train. And so if you have a phone, if your Pinterest is on your phone, they're saying that people are opening up their Pinterest more than one time a day. And that makes sense, right? And one of the things that I love, and I'm going to say that a million times, but I love everything about Pinterest, but I love the fact that it's searches are unbranded, meaning they're not big brands. They're not. They are on there, but they're more like advertising. But they're all small creators like Etsy sellers and coaches, and all it is small. So 96, they're unbranded. Okay, 96%. And remember, we're 700 or 578 million monthly active users, and it's going up 12% every single year. So we'll see how much that goes up in 2026. So get on there. You guys, this platform has been around forever. It's not going anywhere. The rumors are OpenAI are buying it, but it's only going to get better. That'd be crazy. I mean, I think they're trying to sell it. I think they said it's worth like $12 billion. I'm like, I was thinking about buying it, but I was like, I don't have all that. I don't have all that money yet. Just kidding. All right. So, but what are more unique benefits? All right. So remember, it is a search engine. You'll probably hear me say that at least 20 more times in this presentation, but it is a search engine, right? People are searching and they're looking for solutions to the problem that they have, or they're looking to buy something, or obviously, we're not all selling solutions to something on Etsy, but we have stuff to buy, right? For people to buy. So it is a traffic generator. Okay. It drives consistent traffic long term to websites, blogs, Etsy shops, school landing pages, whatever you have that's a link, you can drive traffic to it. The fun 10 million view pin that I'm going to talk about, I was driving traffic back to my Instagram account. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how we can do cross-platform growth. So pins, it's content longevity. Pins remain relevant for months. Okay. But actually, I want to cross that out because I want to say years, because I've been pinning on Pinterest since 2010. I have pins from way back then, and I see pins from back then still getting views and traffic from back then. So that being said, a lot of people say, "Oh, your pins remain relevant for months," but I have guaranteed evidence of my own that they last forever. They literally last forever. And you'll hear me say it early and later. Don't delete your pins. Okay. Don't ever delete your pins. You never know what's going to be trending on Pinterest and what's going to not be trending. If something's trending now, it could actually stop trending, but then it could be trending again, and you could be found because it's a search engine. Okay. So, unlike Instagram and TikTok, things fade away fast, but on Pinterest, they can remain because it is a search engine. So our growth potential to reach new audiences through keyword optimization. All right. We are going to get into some SEO today. So don't tune out. Don't go away. Don't turn off my video. We're going to talk about SEO. It's a thing that everybody talks about, but I simplify it so much for you. It's so easy. I literally have a course inside of Pinterest School called Simple SEO. I have it broken down to you in probably a 5-minute video that you will understand Pinterest SEO. Just like actually, you're gonna understand it today because I'm going to teach it to you. So let's talk about a little experiment that I did here starting in December. Okay, so yes, I've had a Pinterest account since 2010. It's got like 25,000 pins or something crazy like that. It gets millions of views a month. All right, but I can talk about that. But most people that I talk to and that I know don't have that, right? So what I wanted to do is I wanted to bring myself down to a level of restarting a Pinterest account to see, for an experiment for myself, to see what is it like today for someone to start a Pinterest account right now, right? So we started over in Pinterest School. So I know Claire has links, and I know some of you guys are already over in Pinterest School, but if you're listening to this recording, Claire will have a link for you guys for Pinterest School. So make sure you guys get in there, because this experiment right over here called Plant and Bloom was a brand new Pinterest account that I started in December 1st. I had 0 followers, 0 pins, next to zero knowledge of this niche. If you look at my landscaping and my gardening, I don't even have a garden. All right. So, but I knew that if I got into the gardening space, there's lots of traffic. There's lots of potential to actually grow an account. Right. Did my research. We're going to talk about keyword research in a little bit here. But I wanted to do this experiment not even experiment, but I wanted my members of Pinterest School to be able to say, okay, this is what Tim is doing. This is how we're growing. So my goal was 100,000 views in 30 days, right? So I'm starting this thing. I'm excited. I'm launching this thing. And my wife, who sits like right over there, she's like, "Well, hey, Tim, like what happens if you don't hit 100,000 views in 30 days?" I was like, "Oh, well, that's not a problem. It's going to happen." So quickly I found out that hitting 100,000 views in 30 days was not going to happen, right? After the first week, I'm like, "Well, this is not happening." Okay, but what the greatest thing that has happened since this experiment started is like I am teaching you guys exactly what I'm doing every single day to get those views, right? We are at I literally just refreshed my Pinterest account right before we got on the call. We're at 99,000 views, you guys. We're almost at 100,000 views. Super excited. In a niche that I know nothing about, and I whatever. And I did monetize this. I monetized it with my Etsy shop, you guys. So I have an Etsy shop. I know Claire talks about this, but it is I sell AI generated wall art. Absolutely love it. And I was like, oh, well, I already have wall art. I'm going to shift it into the botanical flowers space and start monetizing this sucker. And you'll see a little bit of that. And we definitely have made some sales from it. And it's just really awesome. Just from a brand new Pinterest account, I'm already making sales from those in my Etsy shop. And one thing that I want you guys to take away from this, and I always have this at the bottom of this slide, is like if you, whatever it is, whether it's your Etsy shop, you're starting to Pinterest, you have a website you're working on, you have an ebook that you're writing, or maybe it's a school group that you're trying to launch. Like, don't wait until it's 100% perfect to launch it. Okay, get it out there and get it in front of people so you can learn from it. Okay, that's what I like. If you wait till it's perfect, it's never going to happen. Okay, so think about that. Whatever you're working on today, get it out there and perfect it later. Okay, so like I mean, everything that I've done from 2007 until today, like I've launched it, got it out there. It was never perfect. It never is. It still isn't perfect. Pinterest School is always evolving. Plant and Bloom is evolving every single day. All the stuff that I'm doing is evolving because I'm learning what works and what people want, what people need, what's working for me, and it's always changing. So get out there and whatever you're working on, launch it, right? Launch it today and don't wait, right? So let's get into this. Okay, so the creating the perfect pin. All right. This is step one, foundation. Okay. Guaranteed. I mean, we talk about this when you're selling something on Etsy, when you're making a pin and you're pinning on Pinterest, where our foundation is keyword research. What are people searching for? All right. It's the same thing on Pinterest. All right. Etsy is a giant search engine. That's what it is. You go on there, you search and you find what you want. Pinterest is a even bigger search engine. You go on there, you search and you find what you want, right? If we don't have the right keywords, if we have keywords that no one is searching for, if we're trying to rank for keywords that no one is searching for, we are going to have no views. We're going to have no traffic because no one is searching for that. So we got to remember that the foundation of a perfect pin is keyword research. Okay. We have to rank for what people are looking for. Pinterest is a search engine. Remember, I say it, I'm going to say it a bunch of more times, but 1.1 billion monthly searches. Uh, it's crazy. I mean, there are so many searches happening every single month right on Pinterest. All right. People, and they're typing in exactly what they want, what they need, what they are trying to find the solution for. And remember, if you have the right keywords, that means your pins could rank in days and not months. I hear it all the time. Like, oh, you gotta wait 90 days. You gotta wait this and that. Oh, guess what? Last week, I'm on a call with someone, literally has never even opened a Pinterest account. We did some keyword research. We looked at some of her competitors and her niche, helped her create a bunch of pins. 5 hours later, she messaged me over here on school. She's like, Tim, she's like, I'm getting views on these pins. Is that like real? I'm like, yes, it's real. If you do the research and you do the right keywords, it's going to happen. It does not have to be in months, right? It doesn't or days or months. It can be in days. Okay. So remember, if you pick the wrong keywords, pins are gonna stay invisible because no one's searching for it, right? And remember, because on Pinterest, it's very keyword heavy because you're not doom scrolling and finding like you're not searching backyard gardens and finding funny cat videos. It's just not gonna happen. Like it's not like Instagram, right? So the big takeaway for this, you guys, is we have to start with what people are already searching for and not with what you think is cool, right? So if I'm trying to rank for purple flowers, but nobody is searching for purple flowers, then I probably should not be trying to rank for purple flowers, right? So we got to do that keyword research. Okay. So how in the world do we do the keyword research? All right. So I'm going to tell you two things today. And there's some things that I don't, we talk about some tools that you could use on Etsy, but we're going to be talking about tools that we could use on Pinterest. So the very first one, everybody has access to this if they have a business account, and it's called Pinterest Trends. And remember, a Pinterest business account is free. All you have to do is go in there and just change it to a business account. It doesn't change anything, but it gives you access to analytics, gives you access to running ads. I'm not even talking about ads today, but if we did, it's a game changer, you guys. Pinterest ads are so much better than Meta ads. You get a lot of good traffic. Well, we won't get into that, but our Pinterest Trends is right inside your account, and this is going to give you a overview of what is trending on Pinterest right now. And it also gives you an overview right here. This is just a screenshot, but this is Pinterest predicts. So this is telling us the future. They're predicting the future based on obviously years and years of knowledge and data and all that kind of stuff of what is going to be trending in the months to come. And it gives us those examples of what we can. And there's also, I think it's like a shopping one as well. So like this is great for us on Etsy because people are just telling us what people are shopping for because Etsy is one of the top pinned sites on Pinterest. I don't even know what the numbers are, but it's a lot. A lot of pins every single day from Etsy, and people are shopping on Pinterest. They're going right from Pinterest right over to Etsy, and Pinterest loves Etsy pins because it's integrated in there. They're rich pins. I mean, it's Etsy pins are way different than any other site. They're really good. There's really good shopping. You can connect your items. It's awesome. So Pinterest Trends, love it. You can go on here. It gives you nice graphs, but it doesn't give you the exact information that we want. It doesn't give us the monthly search volume, and that's fine. But there's a tool that does. Okay, so Pinterest Trends is free. It's visual. It's awesome. But pin clicks. So I talk about this in Pinterest School all the time. If you join me over there, you can get a discount code and all that good stuff, whatever. But I am an affiliate for it. But Pin clicks has changed the way that I pin on Pinterest. It has allowed me to find top trending searches and keywords inside of Pinterest that I would never have known. And I'm going to give you very specific Etsy examples because we can today. But one of the things that I have here inside of PinClicks is let's just look right here at drawing ideas. This is just in the basic art category, drawing ideas, 19 million searches per month for just the two keywords, drawing ideas. That's just one thing. And if I could dig down even deeper into this niche, and there's so many. And so that's what I love about PinClicks is being able to dig down in. So we can dig deeper into your niche and find things that you didn't know were trending, and analyze some of your competitors' pins, top pins in that space, and then even spy on your competitors and try to replicate in your own way and do better what they're doing so you can outrank your competitors right here on Pinterest. And I'm telling you guys, without the knowledge, a lot of people are just straight up pinning straight from their Etsy shop. And we're going to talk about one tool that you guys can use today that's going to help you big time in doing that. And I absolutely love it. So let me see. Sometimes I don't know what my slides are, Claire. So I might be surprised by what pops up. So we're going to be talking about more creating the perfect pin. And let's get into some visual things here because Pinterest is so visual. Now, Pinterest gives us the ability to pin different sizes of pins, right? So the most of our Etsy items are square images because that's what we're pinning. That's what we're posting on Etsy. But we don't want to use small, tiny little squares. We want to use tall 2x3 ratio recommended pins because we're taking up more real estate of as we're scrolling. What's going to catch someone's eye better, a small square one or a tall pin with high quality graphics and clear writing and overlays and things like that. So just like we are on Etsy, we have to make sure on Etsy, hello, our first image has to be amazing and clickable. That's what people are shopping. That's when they see that image, they're shopping and clicking on our main Etsy image. So we have to make sure that we have high quality photos and graphics, same as we do on Etsy. All right. And we want to make sure if we have our text is readable. So because most of our pins on Pinterest need to have some text. Now, some of them don't. I'll give you guys some examples of some pins today of some of my top performing pins over on Plant and Bloom, and some of them don't have text on it. So, but we want to make sure we have high quality graphics. We don't have them blurry, and we want to make sure we can read our text. So make sure you're not using cursive writing or handwritten writing that nobody can read. People are going to skip right over it. All right, so make sure we can read that. So what type of pins can we pin? So obviously number 1 is our standard pins, our photos and graphics. Number 2 is our video pins. And I do have idea pins stuck in here because some of us still have the ability to like post these idea pins, but they're kind of morphing into video pins. They're going away. So as soon as I don't see that on my account anymore, I'll just get rid of it. But we can also post carousel pins. So pins that have more than one image, we can post those as well. And so I love those because that gives you the ability to post more than one thing in there, one more picture, and give us the ability to have more info and all that kind of good stuff. But the next piece of this puzzle is the fact that we need to have compelling descriptions, right? We need to have our keywords in there. We're going to talk about SEO in a minute, but our keywords need to be in our title and description. And we need to have a call to action. All right. So if we're trying to drive traffic from Pinterest, right, we need to have a call to action, right? We say click here, buy here, read more, whatever that call to action is. We need to drive them off of Pinterest over to our Etsy shop or blog or website, whatever we're trying to do. But if they don't understand that they have to go off of Pinterest to do what you want them to do, then how are they going to know that? So give them that call to action. Call to action could be on the pin. Call to action could be in the description, or you can put it in both, like read more. And then in the description, say, hey, to find out more, read here, whatever it is. So have those call to actions on there. And the last piece here is our links. Okay. So if I have a pin, right, this is going to make total sense to you guys. If I have a pin for one product over here, and I'm talking about it on this pin, but over here in my Etsy shop, I'm linking to the wrong product. Pinterest is going to be like, that's wrong. We're not going to link. We're not going to boost this up for what you're trying to rank for. So make sure your links are correct. Make sure your links make sense. You know, if I'm trying to rank for purple flowers, but my post over here is all about yellow flowers, well, Pinterest is going to look at those and say, nope, we're not ranking this pin for purple flowers because you're talking about yellow flowers over here. So make sure the links make sense. And if you have broken links, okay, so I talk about this sometimes. I talk about this all the time, basically, but you can't really go back and change links. You used to be able to do that. Now Etsy does a good job. Like if you have a listing that goes away, it will still send you to here, it sends you to your shop, more things from the shop or whatever. So it's okay, but don't go back and delete your pins. Okay. If you can't fix a link, don't delete it. Make sure that you leave it up because you just don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to rank. You don't know how many people are going to see it. So don't delete your pins. Okay. Keep them up there. I literally have pins from 2010. It's crazy. All right. So next, we're talking about SEO. So don't tune out on me. Like I said, you guys promised, right? So don't tune out on me. We're talking about SEO. Okay. So SEO, it's not scary. Okay. There's only 5 places we need to worry about where our keywords go. And the first one is in our board name. Our second one is in our board description. Because remember, our pins live on our boards in Pinterest. So if I'm trying to rank for backyard garden ideas, that needs to be in my pin title, in my pin description, and in my in my board name and my board description. And it also needs to be in my pin title, my pin description, and my pin alt tag. All right, so my pin title totally makes sense. You guys know what that is. Everything has a title. You're on Etsy. You're writing titles and descriptions. Your keywords need to be in that title. Your keywords need to be in the first sentence of your description, and in the middle and at the end. And I do talk about using hashtags. The hashtags are not as relevant as they used to be, but they are still functional and clickable on Pinterest. So I still say that you should put them in 1 to 3 highly targeted keywords for your hashtags. All right. Don't stuff them in there. Don't put more than 3. Just put 1 to 3. They're still clickable. They're still functional. And as soon as they take that away, then we'll talk about not using them, but this still works. So still get them in there. All right. And our alt tag is what the search engines are looking at, and they say, "This is what this image is." So nowadays we have, AI to look at those images, but we don't want to rely on AI. We want to tell Pinterest what our image is. So I usually say, just take your title and put it in your alt tag because it's going to be the same thing. All right. So SEO is easy. And inside of Pinterest School, I have it all laid out for you in a course called Simple SEO. It's literally simple. Okay. So I also have a little tool for you. So I made this tool back, oh goodness, back in November. It's a simple little tool that I created. It's called the Pinterest Pin SEO Score Checker. It's a mouthful, but it helps you understand the SEO of your pin. And it's just a tool. It's not automated very much. It literally just you put your stuff in there, hit a score, you hit the button, and it'll give you a score, and it helps you to fix that. And so over time, you don't need this tool anymore because you're going to understand what the SEO needs to be, and where the keywords need to go, and all that stuff. So after over a period of time, you don't need to use this anymore. But the tool is always there. It's free. It's inside Pinterest School. People love this tool. I literally thought it was useful, but, like, I didn't know how much people would love it. So my members over in Picture School love this little thing. So let's talk about our visuals because we gotta talk about visuals and what we have going on here. So plant and bloom. All right. So obviously it's all about plants, right? So as you can see here, there's 5 different pins here. And these are some of my top performing pins. But one oh, I don't even have them on here. But there most of these have an AI element inside of it, right? So, and one of the questions that I get all the time is like, are AI images okay to post on Pinterest? And 100% yes. All right, one of my top performing pins are literally just AI generated images with no text on them. I did the keyword research and it links over to a blog where I talk about, things or whatever, but it's an AI image that I didn't even put text on it and is top performing. So don't be scared about putting your AI images right on Pinterest. All right. So if we take a look at a couple of these, we're gonna talk about this red arrow one in a minute. But in the middle here, you're gonna notice like these are some of my wall pieces of wall art, the digital downloads, and it's a nice tall pin. This original image in the middle is straight from Etsy, but it's too small, too square like. I made it into using a template, right? So the one on the far right, we have a call to action. So this goes to a blog. We're talking about houseplants. Is read more. So I'm telling people, hey, click on this pin to go read more. Right? Makes sense. So some of your call to actions are implied, like beginner's guide on how to grow succulents. Well, you're not going to get the beginner's guide here on Pinterest. You're going to go get it on the blog. So, or wherever it sits. So it's an implied call to action. And obviously, same thing with this wall art here that sells in the Etsy shop and these other things as well. Now, let's take a look at this image. I'm just going to fast forward. Oh, okay. So we're going to take a look at this image. We're going to come back to this image because I want to show you something. This is another piece of one of my wall arts. We have pieces of wall art that we have inside my Etsy shop, digital download, but it is a template, and I'm going to show you that in a second. So let's get to the final piece here, and it's scheduling. Okay, so as we do all these things, we got our keyword research, we have our pins designed, we have our links correct, we have everything looking good, and now we can do a couple things. All right, so now we can be consistent. Okay, so we have an Etsy shop full of items, full of URLs. I mean, Etsy shop owners have the perfect content machine that you can pin from. I'm talking all of your Etsy items, your main Etsy shop, and all of your shop sections. Think about this, guys. I teach this all the time. If you have an Etsy shop with 10 shop sections, you can pin and send people back to your shop section. So if you're selling nursery wall art, you can send people back to your nursery wall art section and pin it on Pinterest. And that's your link. All right. It's amazing. So that you could now that person is looking at not just one piece of wall art. Now they're looking at all of them. And so I recommend doing that. Make sure you pin your shop sections often. Okay. More pins, the better. All right. And so we have this ability. We have this content machine, the endless. I have like 600 some listings in my Etsy shop. And like, imagine if I mean, I have, but imagine how many pins I have going back to my Etsy shop out there on Pinterest. I mean, you're allowed to pin to a URL more than one time. You're allowed to pin to it over and over again. And we're talking about in a second here, but I recommend that you guys have a daily activity on Pinterest. Okay. And there's a couple ways we can get that done. First is with repinning. Okay. So when you repin something, that means you're going on Pinterest and you're finding things that you like and you repin it over on your boards. Okay. So I don't highly recommend that you're repinning your direct competitors, but you're finding stuff that you like that fits in your board and you're showing Pinterest that you have activity and you're showing them that you're a real person and not just some spammer trying to sell stuff. We're a real person. We're using their platform. So repinning, I recommend you repinning 5 to 10 repins every single day. This should literally take you 30 seconds. It should not take long at all. Find some stuff that you like, pin it, repin it, put it in there. So fresh pins. So we have repins and now we have fresh pins. Fresh pin is something where you actually have an image, a link, a description, and you upload it and it's brand new, right? Doesn't have to be a new link, but it has to be a new image, just title and description. And that's a fresh pin. That's considered a fresh pin. Okay. And every single week, I recommend that you do some keyword research, just like Etsy. Like get on Etsy, use whatever tool you're using. Some people use Everbee, some people use something else. I don't know what you guys are using, but use something so you can find out what's trending in your niche. Find some new stuff, right? If you're not up on the top of what's trending and what people are buying and searching for, I mean, trends, you have to go with the trends, you guys. You have to go with what is trending. All right. Even if it's like holiday stuff or seasonal things. Obviously, the greatest thing about Pinterest as we pin those trending things now, if they're seasonal and holiday, they can come and be retrending again. And guess what? You get traffic again for doing it one time because it's evergreen and you're going to be found again because it's a search engine. All right. So jumping on the trends now doesn't mean you're just going to get traffic now when it's trending. It could be later. And I'm going to show you that in one of these pins. So we can use our native Pinterest scheduler. We have one. Literally can do it. It's on your phone. It's on your computer. You can, there's a little drop down thing that says schedule for later. Great. It's in there. It's awesome. Now I've been using a tool called Listedum. All right. So Listedum came to me. Oh my goodness. It was back in November and said, Tim, we are putting Listedum is a Etsy management tool for your shop, for your Etsy listings. And he said, hey, we are building a Pinterest tool inside of Listedum. I'm like, oh, awesome. Love Pinterest tools. Let me check it out. Guys, listen, I got on this tool, not even knowing what it was, not even knowing what to do with it. And this is a calendar of what February looked like of all my pins that were going out automatically on a daily basis from my from my Etsy account from Listedum. And I remember this was February. We're almost done with February. All those pins went out. And let me see what my next slide is because I'm always there. We go. So I have pinned 318 pins from Listedum. We've had not a ton of outbound clicks. Remember, we have to like volume is the key here. But look at all these views. People are seeing my pins, and it's so good. And we do have traffic from Etsy, and this is all free. I mean, this is just me on autopilot getting traffic. Super awesome, you guys. And so Listedum gives you the ability, and I'm going to give you guys a link. I have a link somewhere. I'll get it. Whatever. You guys will have it. But a Listedum inside a Listedum is so awesome because you can they've been working with me to have the tools that they need. So you literally put in, this is the greatest thing in the world, guys. If you guys are on Pinterest, which you are, or on Etsy, which you are, we have our share and save link. Okay. Anytime you post anywhere, you should be using your share and save link because we save like 4%. Oh, let me go back. Listedum pulls that share and save link for you so you don't even have to think about it. And it's right there. And they have our titles and descriptions is all AI. It optimizes it for you. And then you can, awesome. And then we also, this is what I've been worked with them with was like, because before I can't click on these, but before if I would click on this, wait, this just show us. All right, these are my Etsy images. This is one of my top selling. You guys listen, I made these watercolor. If you guys aren't doing this, listen, I made these watercolor downloadable images, and I've sold hundreds of these. And I did this maybe, I don't know, it was like 3 years ago. And this is my top selling digital download. It's so cool, you guys. I was just having fun making these things, and I put it up as a pack of 50, and there we go. But what we can do now is create these templates down here and so it gives us a taller pin. Listed them has changed the game for me, you guys, for pinning, and I'll get that link to you guys so you can have that. But it is awesome. You guys will have that. I actually have, so I'm an affiliate for it, but you guys can get that link, and I think you can save a bunch of money, or I don't even know. But you guys got to check that out. So it's listed them, super cool. So now I know we're getting short on time, not really, but I still have some stuff to talk about. So this is what I love right here. All right. So cross-platform growth. Okay. So we're talking about doing something on one platform like Instagram and cross promoting it over on Pinterest. The same thing with Etsy. We're doing something on Etsy and cross promoting, but this is an example of I feature over on Handmadeology Instagram. I feature artists, and I was like, hey, I found this really cool video. I messaged the artist. I said, hey, do you mind if I, feature you over on Handmadeology? Of course, she said yes, because whatever. But I always recommend that, guys. If you ever are wanting to feature somebody over on Instagram, just ask. People will let you do it, and it's good. But it was great for both of us because, as you can see, this is a piece of she was making a piece of wall art. That's 3D wall art, and over on Instagram, it got 2.4 million views. So that was great, right? Yeah, everybody got traffic, everybody got exposure. So I was like, man, what if I posted this over on Pinterest? So let's see what happens. Posted the same 14-second video over on Pinterest, and it got 2.1 million views. But here's what I love about this little example here is, remember how we talked about long-term evergreen traffic? So this thing got some views at the beginning, with maybe a month and a half ish, 2 months later, we're getting 20, 30,000 views a day on this pin. I'm like, what is happening? So, but what I wound up doing with this was I was driving traffic back to Instagram. And if they were clicking over, they were going to Instagram and connecting over there. And it just proves the fact that you can do one piece of content on one platform and get and reinvigorate it, give it life again over on Pinterest just by posting it over there and linking back to it. But let's see, this pin was pinned in almost 2 years ago. This is a screenshot from these numbers down here was a screenshot from like an hour ago, and we're sitting at 10.7 million views, and it's uptrending 50% even still today. And it's super cool to be able to see that because you just don't know what's gonna go viral or not even. I mean, whatever. You don't know what's gonna get traction on Pinterest. You don't know what's gonna get found. And the crazy thing about this pin, you guys, is like the title was messed up and not right. The description, I don't even know if there was one. There was some keywords in there somewhere, and it wasn't even optimized for search. And I'm not going in there, and I'm not changing it because something's working, and I'm not going to change it. So that's a little piece of advice. If it's working, don't change it, right? So with this cross-platform experiment, not even experiment, it works. It extends the life of your content, right? So you do it once over on Instagram, and pin it over on Pinterest, and see you get to be able to get in front of a different audience and a long-term audience, right? So if I don't go viral on Instagram or TikTok in the first 24 hours, well, my reel is dead, right? Pretty much. Sometimes things come around again here and there, but if I pin it over on Pinterest, it's evergreen. It's searchable. It can happen over and over again, and plus I can pin it. I can pin it a bunch of times, right? Keep doing it. So it enhances our visibility because remember, Pinterest is a search engine. All right. So with that being said, I literally just talked for, I don't even know how long that was. It was 35, almost 40 minutes. And I think yep, there we go. I'm on to my question and answer time. So what I want to do now, Claire, is just have some time for you guys to. I know there's some questions going on, and I think you were paying attention to it and checking it out there. If you have some of those questions, if someone wants to pop on and ask, I would love to talk to you guys. And while we're doing that as well, I'm gonna find that link. I'm gonna unshare my screen, and I'm gonna find that link to list them and give you guys that in the chats, so you guys can check that out. It's awesome. I mean, if there's one tool that like I could recommend that an Etsy seller would use for Pinterest, that would literally be the only one that I would recommend. It is amazing. So anyway, Claire, go ahead and let me know what you got.
Well, I don't mind anybody unmuting themselves and asking some questions.
Yeah.
But Laura did have a couple, and she was saying, I think she was trying to set up a Pinterest account at the same time. So she was just saying, what category do I come under? So I recommended the online merchant rather than service provider, publisher, content creator, and agency. I thought that was the best fit.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And that would be fine. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And like, I mean, in the long run, it doesn't actually really matter. But yeah, that would be right. Content creator. Yeah, that would fit. That would fit really well. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And then Laura also asked, but she thought she'd got the answer to this. So I'm sorry if this is a bit repetitive, but she said, can we update a pin to let people know that we will be directed to the shop? Like, for example, we're sorry that this item is no longer available.
Yeah, you can. You can say that in the description, and you can always some pins you can't edit. If it is a pin that went straight from like a third party tool like Instagram, scheduler or something like that, you can't edit it. So if you can edit it and you want to edit it, go for it. I mean, you could literally put it right in there and say, hey, this isn't available anymore, and that's fine. But if you can and you want to, it wouldn't hurt anything at all. So yeah, that'd be good. Yeah.
Has anybody else got some questions?
I just found my link to list it.
Yes, okay.
Oh, go ahead.
I just wanted to ask, I have mostly TV frame art.
Yeah.
And so my first pin actually has TV frame art written on it.
Sure.
You see what I mean? Because that's the first thumbnail. But sorry, that's the first thumbnail. You actually say, is that okay?
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah, I do.
Because the first pin is the thumbnail, and the first thumbnail actually says TV frame art, and the second listing is a video, and then we go on to the mock-ups.
Right.
So which would I pin?
You can pin them all.
Would be okay.
Plus the video. Yeah. I mean, sure. Here, go ahead and mute yourself there, Joy, just because I always get this weird
I'll do
echo.
I'll do that now.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay. Yes, absolutely. So we have the ability to add 20 pictures to an Etsy listing now, which is absolutely crazy. Used to be 5, then it was 10, now it's 20. Imagine 20 pins to your one TV wall art, linking back to that one listing. 20 pins. It could be more than that. You have the ability to create as many pins as you want to one listing. All right. Just has to be different pictures and titles and descriptions. And we just use AI to help us write all those. And you do that. But I think just think about you don't have to think about, okay, the only pin can be that very first image, right? You also want to think about creating some templates, right? So that pinnable image might not be a square. You want to make sure they're tall, right? You want to go use some Canva templates. And I have a bunch of those inside of Pinterest School, and I'm sure Claire has stuff around for you guys as well. And but you want to make sure that what you're pinning. I mean, sometimes we want to pin for speed, which is fine, and volume, but we want to make sure we have some of these pins are optimized for tall and standing out in the group of all these TV wall art, And what I found with TV wall art as well, because I have those as well. I have the smart TV wall art and all that kind of stuff. I have bunches of those, and I've sold bunches of them over the years now. And make sure that you're focusing on, as you're making those and creating those, make sure you're focusing on things that people are searching for, people are buying. And I mean, I didn't even get into it, but one of the niches that I found was, I love cars. I'm a big car guy. So I found that Porsche. I don't have a Porsche. Maybe someday I will, whatever. But Porsche was trending on Pinterest. I saw that. We're talking 5-6 million views a month for Porsche iPhone wallpapers. So, wallpaper for your iPhone. It's oh, this is great. I'm going to make some. So I created it, and I created 200. I mean, you guys do all this, right? created 200 of these iPhone wallpapers, put it in a bundle, put it on my Etsy shop. I took it wasn't all 200, but I took a bunch of those that I created and pinned them all over Pinterest. And I mean, those are my top trending, millions of views on Pinterest for this wallpaper, and driving traffic back to my Etsy shop, and like literally making sales on a daily basis. Why you sleep, whatever, all that stuff. But it's cool. And it's like, I never would have known about those trending topic if I wouldn't have done a little bit of research using, Pinterest trends and pin clicks and those different types of things, and jumping on that as well. Now, one thing that was very interesting about that topic, it was not trending on Etsy. Because people ask me that all the time. Are you trying to pick a topic on Etsy that is performing well and a topic that's performing on Pinterest that's very well? You can, but I'm driving traffic from Pinterest to buy in my shop, and nobody on Etsy even cared about Porsche wallpaper until I started making listings, and but I was driving traffic from Pinterest. So I wasn't getting any traffic for that stuff on Etsy because nobody was searching for it. And I knew that because I think I was using Everbee and checking that out and whatever. But so that's you can do both and get traffic from both things, and find topics that are like Etsy driven and Pinterest driven, and just double down on the traffic, and that'd be awesome. So anyway, hope that answers your question, Joy.
And I have a question.
Thank you.
You talk about repins. Now, when you repin, because I'm not very familiar with Pinterest,
Mhm.
are you repinning somebody else's work on your page?
Yes. Yep. So it sounds backwards, and you shouldn't do it because you're pinning someone else's. Okay, so stick with me here. This is when you're scrolling on Pinterest, right? All you're seeing is people's pins. All right, so 99% of people will not go in and find your account, find that board where all those pins are sitting. So if you're pinning something for backyard garden ideas of my own, and someone else's different backyard garden ideas that might not be directly competitive, but still in that niche, it's not going to matter that if you have one pin and one pin. No one's going to ever know. And then they might know. But it's in Pinterest's eyes, it's showing you that, like, oh yeah, this board is all about backyard gardening. It's not just your own stuff. You're not just loading up Pinterest with your own stuff. You're going around and you're using their site, and it helps. Pinterest loves it. Someone was saying, I was on a call the other day, it's giving your account Pinterest juice. It's just funny. But it sounds like you shouldn't pin somebody else's stuff, but that's what Pinterest was made for. Pinterest was literally made for you to go on, find stuff on Pinterest, and save it. And we're just using this tool the way it was intended to, and that's what Pinterest likes you to do. So if you don't feel comfortable pinning something right next to your own pin, find some, get some other boards that you can pin some things in. And that was I'm going to dive into another topic that people ask me all the time. So should I be pinning other stuff, right? Other things in different niches and all these other things. And so my main Pinterest account has everything on it, everything from Etsy tips to Etsy shop stuff, like cars, DIY, home repair stuff. It's all sectioned in the boards correctly, right? So there's two different camps. There's a camp of people that say don't pin anything else except for your niche, which is like plant and bloom. That's my experiment over there, seeing what's happening. And there's my other account where I have literally everything under the sun, and we have millions and millions of views over there, and it works. So you can do both. But it's a great question, Laura. And I know it's hard to wrap your mind around, like, pinning someone else's stuff, but you don't have to pin, like, I have this yellow flower, digital download. I'm not going to pin mine and this other yellow. I mean, don't do direct competitors, right? Something that's similar. So, okay.
So for me, I do digital art for like clip art and stuff. So maybe repin something about how to use clip art to make.
I think stuff like that would be great. Or find clip art that might not be in the niche that you sell in or something. If you do all niches, that makes sense. But like, find something that will fit. And you'll be, as you browse around, like, Pinterest will give you, like, if you go onto your board on Pinterest, it'll literally have a button that says more ideas, and it will literally give you ideas. Like, And they're promoting the fact that like you should be pinning other people's stuff, and like they literally give you that idea. So it's cool though. It's fun, and I like it because it's just fun. You see stuff, and then you can remember some ideas too, and just the way it is. So yeah, great question though, Laura. I get it all the time.
You okay with one more?
Yeah, for sure.
So Pinterest, I was, as Claire noted, I was just setting up one for my business for the Etsy.
Yep.
I previously had one that was ancient. That was my personal one. Is it smart to have two?
You can. It depends on how you feel. I am in the camp of why would you want two? So I mean, you can, I mean, I have two now. I literally had one Pinterest account for 15 years, just one. Now I started this other one as an experiment or whatever. But sometimes, I mean, there's just two things to manage, but the way that Pinterest is designed is you can literally just organize everything into boards, and boards and pins are what matter. Your account doesn't really matter. Plant and Bloom has 40 followers. That's it. They're all my friends, but I have 90, almost 100,000 views on there. And it's not from my followers. It's from proper SEO, proper keyword research. The other example is my bigger account has 70,000 followers, but we have millions of monthly views. But I can guarantee you that not all those views are coming from my followers. So the one thing I know I should talk about it, but I love the fact that you don't have to have a big following on Pinterest. It's all depending on your pins. So I would say for you, Laura, like if you want that for your Etsy shop, go for it, but you don't need it. You just make sure that your other account is just a business account. And or you can just stick with both, and just you can cross pin, repin each other, all that kind of stuff with more than one. If you're able to manage it, go for it. It's not that hard. I mean, it's not hard to manage too, but because you can click back and forth even on the phone. You can click back and forth on the computer. So you can have your accounts linked to each other sort of ish. So it's not hard to switch. Yeah.
Cool. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. What other questions do we got, guys?
I just wanted to recap. Did you say 5 to 10 repins and 1 fresh pin per day?
Yeah, I think if you can do that, like think about it. Like I would say that's like, I mean, the repins is probably good for every day like that. But if you can pin 1 pin per day, that's 30 pins every single month. That's linking back to your Etsy shop. Let's just say Etsy shop. What if you did 2 pins a day? What if you did 10 pins a day? Think about how many links are now linking back to your Etsy shop there in the world of this giant search engine of Pinterest. I mean, it's all about how much work can you put in and how much, time can you put into it. But if you guys are using like a tool like Listedom, you could just do it automatically. They literally have an automatic thing that like will pin them automatic. There's a robot in there, not robot, an AI bot that will literally pin. They will take, if you don't have a pin that day scheduled, it will take one of your Etsy listings and pin it. Like what? It's awesome. So the guy, Surreal is the guy, his name is Surreal. He's the one who created Listedom, and he loves it. Like it's a genius. Listen to a lot of my feedback from what Etsy, because I've pinned so many things from Etsy over the years. A lot. Anyhow, any other questions, guys? We're about to wrap up for today. If not, that's okay.
Yes,
I know this.
Okay. Sorry.
Yep.
You were talking about the sizes. You said some should be taller. Could you just touch on that before you go? Because I thought that they were supposed to be square.
Oh, yeah, definitely not square. So if you look at, if you just scroll Pinterest at all, the majority of images on there are tall and skinny, right? So a 2-to-3 ratio. And the reason you want that is because they give you that ability to do that. So imagine if you had one pin right here that's big and tall and one pin right here that's little and square, which one stands out more? The one that takes up more real estate, right? We can put more text on there. We can put more images on there if we want to. So it's going to stand out more, and it's just bigger. So you might as well be able to do it. Like back in the day, we would literally put like huge, you can't do it anymore. Huge, like infographics. Like, I mean, giant. Like, it was just bizarre. And you were able to do that, and people would do it. Oh, it was great. You can't do that anymore. So you got to do those tall ones. Do those tall ones, right? So if you oh, go ahead.
You mentioned about, and this is my last question because I know you got to go.
Sure.
You mentioned about infographics.
Oh yeah.
So are you saying that we can put infographics on Etsy as on sorry, beg your pardon, on Pinterest as well?
Sure.
And that's it from
Absolutely.
Thank you.
You can do infographics. You can do anything you want to put on there, you can put on there. I mean, obviously there's like rules, but I mean, yeah, but yeah, you can put it like infographics are huge. Like anyway, if you can provide information on a pin, oh man, like for anything that those get saved, depending on what it can get saved and saved and saved. And that's what it is. It's a almost like a bookmarking platform. People are saving these. The more saves you get, the more views you get, the more it gets spread around. So absolutely, if you can provide information like an infographic, that's good stuff. For sure. Yep.
Okay, so this is literally the last question, and then I say thank you in a minute. But Laura just wanted to know, she's trying to set up that shop, and she was saying that she can't put her Etsy shop link in as the website.
Oh, Claire, I fixed it.
Ah, good. That's fine.
You got it?
Yep.
I did. I just didn't have a company name in there.
Okay. Awesome. Cool.
So
awesome,
Tim,
awesome.
thank you so much. It's been really, really good, really, really strong and informative, and I just can't wait. I've already got my Pinterest set up, but I can't wait for my next bit that I'm going to do.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Claire, for having me on here, you guys. And I'll be around. Listen, I'm sticking around Claire's group, and I'll be in there from time to time, giving you guys some tips and maybe answering some questions as well or whatever. But I'm sticking around there, you guys. I'm in there. And remember, if you guys are in Pinterest School, hit me up, ask me questions, and don't be afraid to ask Etsy questions in Pinterest School as well. I'm there. You guys know. And it's been a great time. I love talking about these two topics. And Claire, it's been an awesome day. So thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
All right, guys. We'll see you guys later. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for coming, everybody.
Yeah. Bye-bye.